guys, it's Kara. This is my top 10 books of 2012. I know what you're thinking. I probably should have done 12 books of the top 12 books of 2012. But I felt like a lot of the books that I wanted to put into the 2012 weren't worthy. I don't know. Like I feel like the 10 I chose really are just the best books, and I feel like if I made it 12, it would have taken away from the just amazingness of the books that I chose for the original 10. So that is why I only have 10. So let's get started. These are in no particular order of favorite. I'm just going to share all 10 across the board that were amazing, and I'll tell you just how amazing each one of them is. Alright, so I guess the first one I'll start off with is one that I think a lot of people will have in this kind of video, and it is Insurgent by Veronica Roth. Now, as you can tell, I don't have the actual book with me because my twin sister is reading it, but Insurgent is the second in the Divergent trilogy. I think it's a trilogy. I can't wait until the next one comes out. I literally, hurry up, Veronica Roth, please, hurry, please. If you guys have not read the Divergent series, you really need to, because it's an amazing series, and it's an amazing gift if you guys ever need to get someone a book gift or something like that. Alright, number 2, this book, I put it in here because not only is it a fantastic book, but it really it's one of those books that just takes you to where it's set. And that is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, which is also being made into a movie, I heard. This book, at first, my initial it wasn't like I didn't love it at first, but then the more I think about it and just my experience reading it, this book is so amazing. It just is. I haven't read the other two, the second and third one, because I heard that it kind of goes downhill after the first one, but I'll get around to reading them eventually because I'm just interested to know what happens. Super suspenseful. Also, I know that a lot of people, a lot of boys I know will not read the books that I read because they say that they're for girls. Well, I don't think that's true, but sometimes it can be. So if you're a guy and you're watching this, this is definitely a book that you would enjoy. I mean, seriously, there are a few books that are geared more towards girls, but this one is so amazing. Anyone can read it. Okay. The next book is in this pile for a different reason. I feel like this book isn't on the same level as a lot of the other ones for the amazingness or the writing, but for some reason this book resonated with me and I just loved it. I think it's because I'm a hardcore Disney fan, and Cinderella was a great story, but even though, like I said in my review of the book separately, it was very predictable to me, it did not prevent me from liking it. It was a great book. It just was. I can't even explain it. It was just really great. I need to make this faster. Okay, the next book that I just cannot stress how good it was the fourth Fablehaven, which was called Secrets of the Dragon Sanctuary. Now, I read this book a long time ago, like way in the beginning of the year. But as you guys know, Fablehaven is my favorite series, and this is the fourth book in the series, and it did not disappoint, let me tell you. I can't even put into words how great this book is. Alright, next is one that I read really recently, actually, and I cannot believe I have not read this sooner. If you guys are a fan of John Green's writing style, you need to read this book. Jellicoe Road by Melina Marchetta is a masterpiece of a book. It made me cry twice, which I don't cry while reading books, and I didn't cry because it was sad. I cried just because I felt all the feelings. It was so good. Man, God, these books. I can't even do this video because I'm getting so worked up by how amazing these books are. Alright. Oh my gosh, this next book blew me out of the water. Blood Red Road by Maria Young. Now, I put off reading this book for about a year just because the cover did not appeal to me, and even the synopsis didn't appeal to me. I'm kind of over dystopians a little bit just because they've been there's just so many of them out right now. But this book is awesome. I recommend it to anybody. It's fantastic. I asked for the second one for Christmas, so let's pray that I get it. Unless you're watching this after Christmas, and then I probably did get it because that was like the only thing I asked for. Alright, this next book actually, I did not give it a 5 out of 5. I gave it 4 out of 4.5 or 4, I can't remember. But the more I think about it, it's just such a classic piece of literature in my mind. I mean, it isn't technically a classic, but it is like it's a more of like a modern classic. Like everyone should read this book, and that is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. Now, this was the first year that I read it, and I was completely I wasn't expecting what this book gave me. It just was so different from anything I've read before, and I definitely think everyone needs to read this book. Alright, so the next one is super obvious because every single person in America right now is talking about how awesome The Fault in Our Stars is. So I won't even go into detail about how awesome it is because, I mean, most people I talk to are nerd fighters anyway, so you guys understand. But The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, read it. Made me cry. Alright, the next book is perfection. So good. Cannot wait to read the sequel. But it is Unwind by Neal Shusterman. If you guys have not read Unwind, I just go read it. Just go. It just has so much emotion in it, and also it did take a little bit for me to get into it because the first about 100 pages can drag just a bit, but don't worry, it's totally worth it in the end because the end, this one scene with Roland, just I it's just so good. It's just so good. All right, and then the last book that I have here, it took me 3 months about to read this. It took me about 3 months to get through this book, and I was just not into it. I just wasn't enjoying this book until I got the audiobook, which completely changed the way I felt about the entire book. I say if you tried to read The Book Thief and you couldn't get into it because it was just so long and just I've never been a fan of reading of things about the Holocaust. I find it too sad and too just I don't like it. So and also I no. So I didn't want to read this book. The reason I did was because so many people told me it was great and I jumped on the bandwagon. And halfway through it, I put it down for about a month just because I wasn't into it. But then I thought I'll give it another chance by getting the audiobook. And let me tell you, it completely revolutionized the way I felt about the book, the message, just the characters, everything. And so because of that, this book, oh my gosh, it's just so raw. Like the characters and the emotions are just so out there for you to grasp. It's amazing. Alright, so now after I've said that every single one of these books is freaking amazing, because they all are, I would like to know what you guys think about them, because I probably am the only one who, I don't know, but I don't want to fangirl alone, so if you guys want to fangirl or guy with me down in the comments, feel free. I think 2012 was a pretty good year for books. There were a lot of honorable mentions, like the Percy Jacksons and, like a lot of other books that I read that I just didn't feel, I couldn't put them all in here, so I had to just pick 10. But, yeah, I'm super stoked for 2013, let me tell you. Thanks, guys. Bye.